Go! Stop!
Number 7. Rain, rain, rain. Rain fell on Jack's head. Rain fell on Joey's head. Rain fell on Annie's head. Rain fell on Teddy's head. And on Koala's head. Annie opened her mouth and drank the rainwater. Jack did the same. The water tasted better than any water he had ever drunk. When Jack looked back at the woods, misty steam was rising from the child gum and bullying bushes. The heavy rain was panting out the wildfire. You'll be safe now, Annie said to the koala. I'll put you back in the nice gum tree, then you can finish your nap. I see a tree that's not burned, said Jack. They walked over to the unburned gum tree and placed the koala in the fork of 2 branches. Go back to sleep now, she said softly. Pretend the fire was all a dream. Good night, said Jack. The koala seemed to smile at them. Then he closed his eyes and went to sleep, as if he'd never been disturbed at all. Jack hand and looked around. Man, he said, you were lucky that a storm came. Annie smiled. It wasn't just luck, she said. It was magic. Magic? I said Jack. Yeah, the glowing hands and the snake, said Annie. Somehow they brought the storm. That doesn't make sense, said Jack. Joey stirred in his pack. Suddenly, Jack remembered something. Hey, we have to get Joey back to the place where his mom left him, he said, or she won't be able to find him. Where was that place? Said Annie. I don't know, said Jack. He looked around at the rainy, gray forest. Everything looked the same. Teddy can find the spot, Annie said. Without even a bark, the little dog took off erase the wet, muddy ground. Once again, Jack and Annie followed him. Jack's back was beginning to hurt from carrying Joey. Earth, Jack and Annie coughed up with Teddy. He stopped over the Australia book. It was wet but not burned. Hooray, we found it, said Annie. That's right, said Jack. I left our book in the spot where we found Joey. Once again, Teddy help us out, said Annie. She pat the little dog's head. Thanks, Teddy, Jack said. He picked up the Australia book. The cover was wet, but the pages looked okay. The little kangaroo peeked out of his pack as Jack took the book under his arm. "Don't worry, Joey," Annie said. "We'll stay right here till your mom comes back for you." "If she hasn't already come," Jack thought worriedly. Jack and Annie stopped in the rain with Teddy and Joey and waited. They waited and waited. The rain turned to a drizzle, then the drizzle turned to a light spark, and then the drizzle turned to a light sprinkle. Still they waited. Jack grew sadder and sadder. Maybe the mother kangaroo had come and left, or maybe she had been caught by the dingoes, or maybe she had been killed by the wildfire. Jack was afraid to look at Annie, afraid to say anything. "I know what you're thinking," she said finally. Jack picked Joey's head. Jack pat Joey's head and stumbled. "Let's wait a little longer," he said. "If she doesn't come back soon, we'll take him home with." "Earth," Teddy barked softly. "Listen," said Annie. Jack listened. The sound was very faint at first, but then it grew louder. It was squawky sound. It was a squashy sound. It was the sound of big foot slapping through mud.